Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Monday Night Football, Redskins versus Eagles. So I got a film breakdown with the keys to victory. But before I get into that, please subscribe to my channel. Click the link down below, and also follow me on Instagram at Casey Bethia, so you can stay up to date with all my posts and as well as all these videos that I make. So after reviewing the film from the first week matchup against the Eagles and last week's matchup versus Carolina, I've come up with a couple of ways that I think we can be successful, and also how we can learn from our mistakes from the first game. Carson Wentz had a lot of big plays, so I'm going to talk about how we can limit that. And this starts right here with the defensive ends. Both ends, Ryan Kerrigan and Preston Smith, and also Ryan Anderson or Junior Gillette. These guys should all be able to play the edge strong. You see here the defensive end, Julius Peppers, goes to the inside, and Carson Wentz is able to get to the edge. When he gets to the edge, that's when he gets dangerous, and that's when he makes plays happen, just like this play versus the Redskins in week. This is why the defensive end play for us is so crucial. We need guys that are going to be disciplined, that are going to be able to stay out on the edge and not turn up field and give up ground and let Carson Wentz scramble around and make things happen. We know that Ryan Kerrigan's going to be consistent and he's going to be disciplined, but specifically Preston, we need him to not fall for the read right there. Preston Smith needs to be right there on the numbers waiting for Carson Wentz as soon as he pulls it to attack. Another key to victory that we can do is try to attack them in many different ways with the blitz. You see that they send the middle linebacker right there, and I've noticed versus Carolina, they really struggle versus the blitz, and that's when Carson Wentz struggled the most. A lot of times they would send blitzes off the edge, just like you see here, where they send an extra defender, and LeGarrette Blount doesn't really like the block, and that's what you'll see with these next plays. You see right on the edge, number 58, Thomas Davis runs right at LeGarrette Blount, and he takes a block on, and he gives up the pressure to the inside because they send more than they can block. So that's just what we got to do. We got to stay aggressive and send as many guys as possible and try to rattle Carson Wentz early and mess up his timing and rhythm with the rest of the receivers. And this worked well for us in week one. When we're aggressive like you see here, Kendall Fuller makes a beautiful play. He already knows what's coming. He watched it in film, and he just reacts and sends an aggressive attack at the bubble screen, is able to force the incompletion. The more aggressive we are with these guys, the easier this win is going to come. It's going to be a hard-fought game throughout the entire game, but if we learn from the Panthers exactly what they're doing right here, just send numerous blitzes from the edge, and we're definitely going to create some noise and knock him around, maybe force a couple of fumbles and get some early turnovers. An area where the Eagles were successful is the outside run, specifically runs to the left side. LeGarrette Blount had a lot of positive runs, and as you see here, this is an outside run where Thomas Davis can't fully get to the edge, and they use their speed. With Wendell Smallwood coming back this game and LeGarrette Blount, they got some of these guys who can hit these holes, and especially LeGarrette Blount coming through the lane. That's not what you want, and with the missing of Jonathan Allen, we're going to need the linebackers to play big, such as Zach Brown and Mason Foster, or it's going to be a really long game. Matt Ioannidis and Ziggy Hood are going to have to step up, and especially because these are all straight to the inside runs right up the 3-tech and inside the 1-tech. So we definitely need these guys to come up. Greg Minuski's going to have to be aggressive with his approach and send inside blitzes. Like I said, when these guys get free opportunities and open lanes, that's when they do their most damage, and how they've been so successful at 5-1. We got to send pressure the whole entire game and be aggressive with these guys. These are the types of runs that LeGarrette Blount feasts on. You see that he's so elusive. Once he gets through the hole for a big guy, he can really make things happen and start to hurt us. But I think a way that we can hurt them is keep the screen game rolling with Chris Thompson. We can mimic some of these schemes that they use with Chris McCaffrey. This guy had a lot of yards off of screens. He was ripping off chunks at 10 to 12 yards throughout this entire game. So if Chris Thompson is able to get that flowing with Trent Williams leading the way, we should easily be able to get some nice first downs and keep the chains moving. This is just an entire compilation of plays to the outside and screens that were effective. And right here, this is our version of that same play, a screen to the left with Chris Thompson, where he has even more than just one guy lead blocking his 3 linemen. So we should embrace this screen game because it's been so effective for the entire season. It seems like every single game our screen game is always going. If nothing else works, that works. So we just got to keep prying at this and be able to attack their front 7 with this. And this next key to victory is to target their outside corners. These guys out there, they don't really want to play football. They've been vulnerable, probably their most vulnerable position group along the defense. They faced Kelvin Benjamin and Devin Funchess. These are bigger receivers that really gave them a tough time, and I think we have a similarity to that with our receivers. And Josh Doctson and Terrell Pryor. These are all big receivers that can cause them problems. You see with these outside routes, the receivers use their body and are able to pretty much rip off 10 yards at a time. A beautiful route by Kelvin Benjamin right. But on the perimeter, I really think we can be successful, and I expect a big game from Kirk Cousins to have nice timing. I'd expect Josh Doctson or specifically Terrell Pryor. I really think Terrell Pryor will have a big game versus Jalen Mills and Patrick Robinson. These corners aren't really up for the test, I don't think. You see from week 1 that Terrell Pryor is able to use his big frame and catch easy passes for 10 to 15 yards. When Kirk gets a big target like that to throw at, it's good, too easy, and we should easily be able to exploit some of this in the secondary. So these are the keys that I think we can exploit them and help find some success and get a win and drop them to 5-2. Let me know if you guys agree. Follow me on Instagram at CaseyBethia. Please subscribe. Don't forget the thumbs up. And if you're still listening, I appreciate it. Thank you.